highlighting history of suburban Sydney with the St Peter's Cooks River History Group.
Our aim is to preserve and promote local history.
We are based at St Peter's in Sydney's inner west.
In 1804, Governor Philip Gidley King made land grants to Hannah Laycock, a soldier's wife, and her sons. The Laycocks named their farm Kingsgrove in recognition of the governor. Eventually, their combined land holdings were about 800 acres.
John Townsend's 1808 grant was south of Hannah Laycock's.
James Chard purchased part of Charles Watson's land in 1827.
John Ledbetter's grant was transferred to James Oatley in 1828.
Kingsgrove Farm was sold to Simeon Lord in 1829. When he died in 1841, his sons subdivided and sold it.
Most of the land was native forest, and for the next 20 years timber cutting was the main local industry.
In 1843, Thomas Spencer West purchased Lot 19 of the Kingsgrove estate. He built Pembroke Cottage, still standing in Bennett Street.
The first inn, the Man of Kent, was on Kingsgrove Road near Morris Avenue. It was licensed to Evan Evans in 1850.
In 1856, the Knee Plus Ultra, nothing but the best cart from Sydney, was located near the hotel for 3 days a week selling provisions.
A Wesleyan chapel was established in 1851 on land donated by John Chard. Today the location of Kingsgrove Gospel Chapel.
A cemetery was adjacent to the chapel. The first burial was in 1855. Plots were sold until 1959. It was taken over by Canterbury Council in the 1960s.
In 1854, Thomas Smithson bought land on Stony Creek Road and established a tobacco and snuff factory. In the 1880s, his son James made and sold wine from Smithson's Wine Bar. In 1934, the site was acquired by the council for a park. Now the Bexley Golf Course.
A Baptist church was built in 1875. It was replaced in 1953. Currently a Vietnamese evangelical church.
In 1908, Frederick Mashman acquired over 8 acres of Oatley's land, built a house and constructed a kiln. 2 years later, manufacturing commenced at Mashman's Pottery. Land from the Chard estate was purchased as a source of clay. From 1938 to 41, some of the factory land was subdivided. Flats and shops were built. Pacoma Flats were the first block of flats in Kingsgrove. Members of the Mashman family remained in control of the works until its closure in 2010. The site has been redeveloped into a residential retail complex.
In 1887, an application was made for the establishment of a public school. It was 30 years before the Education Department announced it was investigating 3 possible sites for a school. 2 acres of land were purchased on Stony Creek Road. A school building was completed in 1918. A second campus on Kingsgrove Road opened in 1954 on part of the former Ferguson's nursery site.
The towers in Forsyth Street were built by David Jones in 1888. The landmark tower was built because of his interest in astronomy. Today, All Saints Greek Orthodox Grammar School.
Late 19th century Kingsgrove was divided into 3 municipal council zones, which partly attributed to the slow growth of the area. There were scattered farms, a few houses, no shopping centre, no post office and unsurfaced roads.
In the early 20th century, Kingsgrove had several plant and flower nurseries fronting Stony Creek Road.
In 1902, Ferguson's nursery selected a site to establish their business near Stone's slaughter yards.
Stone's supplied butchers in Hurstville and Rockdale. Dick Stone was founder of a butcher shop dynasty.
The railway line from Tempe to East Hills opened in 1931. Kingsgrove was the terminus of the double-track electrified section from Tempe. Until 1939, passengers transferred at Kingsgrove to a rail motor or steam service to continue their journey to East Hills. The line was duplicated and electrified beyond Kingsgrove in 1948.
The opening of the railway line was promoted in land sales.
The foundation stone of St David's Presbyterian Church on Caroline Street was laid in 1938. The church closed in 1989. Townhouses now occupy the site.
A Methodist church opened in 1939 on the corner of Morton Avenue. The Methodist Peace Memorial Church replaced it in 1957.
The Piccadilly Theatre between Dowsett and Edward Streets opened in 1940. The official program proclaimed the modern cinema theatre symbolising the spirit and achievement which permeates the whole district. The theatre closed in 1959 and was replaced by a Shell service station.
St Thomas's Anglican Church opened in 1941. A war memorial church was built in 1952. Today, the St Thomas Chinese Southwest Evangelical Church.
Kingsgrove Bus Depot opened in 1948.
The New South Wales Housing Commission built over 200 homes on the Ferguson Nursery estate. This included the 10,000th house built by the Commission.
In 1949, the foundation stone was laid for Our Lady of Fatima Roman Catholic Church. A primary school was established in 1953. A new church building opened in 1970. The original building is still used as the parish hall and known as the Clune Centre.
In 1954, Ursuline Sisters took up residence in Kingsgrove. 3 years later, St Ursula's College opened.
In the 1950s, a designated industrial zone was established between the railway line and Woolhigh Creek. Factories established included King G and Coca-Cola.
The Kingsgrove Hotel opened as the Grove Inn in 1954.
Kingsgrove became front page news in 1956.
In February, the gasometer owned by the Australian Gas Light Company ruptured and 50 megalitres of gas exploded, sending a mushroom cloud a kilometre high. It occurred in the early hours of the morning. Only 5 people were injured. The gasometer was demolished in 1979.
David Scanlon, known as the Kingsgrove Slasher, commenced his reign of terror. For 3 years he randomly attacked sleeping women, breaking into homes in the middle of the night and slashing their clothes and bed sheets. He was caught in 1959.
In August, a powerful car bomb shook homes on Patterson Street. A deranged engineer killed his wife and brother-in-law, a local doctor. He then committed suicide in the doctor's surgery.
The state government purchased Ferguson's nursery site in 1958 to establish Kingsgrove High School. The nursery stone entrance still stands.
To relieve overcrowding in existing schools, Kingsgrove North High School opened in 1959.
A police station was built in 1965. Since 1943, local police had operated from a 3-metre square call box on the railway station ramp on Kingsgrove Road.
Today, villas, home units and townhouses are part of an urban renewal. The main shopping centre is located on Kingsgrove Road, south of the railway station. Commercial and industrial developments are located on the northern side.
If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel. It's free. Coming soon, Municipality of Bankstown, from a rural past to a modern multicultural community. And check out our website, stpeterscooksriverhistory.wordpress.com.